Hey everybody, welcome to Realtor Rapid Fire, our 5-minute interview series where we interview top real estate agents that know what they're talking about to help other real estate agents. And today we're joined by a 23-year veteran from Century 21 Advantage Gold, Dave Joslin. Dave, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Ken. This is awesome. I've been waiting to do this. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, man. See that? This is where the cool kids hang out, Dave. Really,
honestly. Absolutely. We can debate the mayo, no mayo thing, but we'll leave that for another time. So,
hey, those that know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So we always start off. We have 3 questions: 2 business questions and a fun one. And I'm going to start with our business question for this month, and that has a lot to do with buyers. And you know what we find with buyers is that they all come to you as a real estate agent with this idea in mind of what they really need, when sometimes it's not where they end up. What are some things that you do, some questions you ask to help buyers uncover what they really want instead of what they think they really want?
Yeah, it's interesting, Ken. Like I base a lot of my quote unquote conversations just like that. It's not question posing. We're not going through a script. You really have to sit down and you have to talk to people, and just get to know them. It's general conversation. And it's so funny that a lot of agents feel that it has to follow a script and you got to figure out what people want to do. The conversation will flow. It just flows with what you're talking about, where you're at. If you're sitting in your office, yeah, you can write everything down that they're looking for. You can write everything down that they want, but really it's got to flow from a conversation. I usually start, and this is really key, because I usually start with a key question. How long do you plan on being here? Like, how long do you plan on being in this house? Is this kind of your starter house? Is this your forever home? Is this your next level up home? Because that really sets the tone for what people are looking for and where we can lead the conversation. Because whether, you really have to think about it. As an agent, you really have to think about that answer to that question. Because right now we're in a high priced market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prices are crazy. They're not going to stay up there all the time. Like they might fluctuate a little bit, but if somebody comes in and says, listen, I'm going to be here for 2 to 3 years tops, and then I'm out. Like I got to move for jobs. Like I'm working. I plan on going to, Kentucky for my next location. Like, so you have to ask them that question. Is it going to be 2 to 3 years? Is it your forever home? Is it your step up home? Because through that conversation really is where you're going to lead the next couple questions.
Gotcha. And they leave clues, I guess. That's part of what, if you're listening, they'll uncover even things they didn't write down or forgot to write down, or not necessarily not realizing how important certain things are. So that's a really good answer. The second question has more to do with sellers. And one of the things I've learned being in this business and being a seller myself, selling seems to come with more fears. What are some of the fears that sellers have, and what are some of the things that you do to help sellers kind of overcome those fears?
Again, it's that general conversation, right? You got to start out with, and I know a lot of people, the seller's fears, first of all, is, am I selling the house for my right price? Is it I'm selling it correctly? Am I underselling my property? Right? And that's the biggest fear I think most people have. It's not how fast you're going to sell it. If it's going to sell, it's going to sell if it's priced right. Right? So I always tell the sellers, price, location, and condition, 3 factors that go into your pricing. Right? That's it. That's the bottom line. How much you bought it for, how much you owe, like that's going to come into play. But ultimately, the seller's fear is about the listing process and how they can get the best possible money for their house in the marketplace. And again, it's all about conversation. I think that the one thing that's really lost in this business these days is the art of conversation. Like that's why I love this 5-minute rapid fire thing, because it's face to face. We don't have our phones in our hands. It's not something that's scripted. Like here's Ken and Dave talking about the housing market and what professionals should be doing and what clients can expect. A lot of people are on the texting, and I'm old school. I like to talk. So that conversation is, because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Ken in the face when I'm talking to him. I'm going, hey, I can see Ken's reaction to this. I can see him get squirmy. I can see him get a little bit more excited. So we know, yeah. So we know it's like, oh man, what is he doing? Like, you got to get out of that conversation once you see this is going on. But the sellers are fearful about the pricing, right? And the process, because they don't know what they don't know. And if you haven't sold a house in the last 3 to 5 years, like, it's completely different. And that's what our job is to do, is to have a conversation, find out how long it's been since they sold a house. What are their fears? We ask the questions. Like, and that's really, like, I don't go into a listing presentation with like this whole script of things that I'm going to say. I might have bullet points of conversations, and that's what I really want to talk about. I want to get to know the client. And hey, some people are not that way. Some people are more transactional. They're like, I don't care who sells my house. Like, I don't want to get to know you. I don't like you. Just give me the best price, and you got the listing, right? That's what I call buying the listing. If you go in and somebody says, I want $799 for my house, and you're looking at the comps and you're going, it's $650. Like, all day long, it's $650. If you just agree to go sell the house for $799, like, you're buying your listing, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw on the Big Z that this, house down the street, and that's the funny part. Yeah. I won't mention their name. I won't give them the credit. I'll just go the Big Z. It's kind of the same color as your shirt, right? It's that blue Z. But yeah, I mean, those are the things. I think that's what
we're the Big P,
right? Yeah. So I think that the biggest fear is getting the right price, and having a conversation is the way to get to it, because then you can talk about the comps. Then you can talk about the market itself. You can talk about how the condition affects it, how the updates affect it. And the biggest thing I think I hear, and I think every seller should be aware of this, and every real estate agent that's listening to this is going to probably chuckle and go, one of the biggest terms you'll hear during that listing appointment is, yeah, but my house has. Yeah, but my house has. And what we don't realize as individuals is we love our houses, we love our homes. And that's another key thing that I try and do. Like, when I'm going on a listing appointment, I'm selling their house. When I'm talking to a buyer, we're finding them a home.
Yeah.
Because it depersonalizes that a little bit. So you're looking at the fact that, like, yeah, your house is for sale. We're going to go through the stats. We're going to tell everybody what the pricing looks like, what the condition looks like, what the upgrades look like, without trying to be insulting. I'm more truthful in that sense.
Well, a lot of times people are like, well, I put in this, I did these floors, I did these doorknobs, I hung this door, and like nobody cares that you put that, and this doesn't, just nobody cares that you did that work. Does it have a door? Does it have doorknobs? Whereas sometimes as sellers, we get this emotional attachment because we were the ones that put our blood, sweat, and tears into whatever the house might be, but that doesn't always translate to the market, and that's an emotional decoupling that, like you said, that you have to help them, decouple from that.
Yeah,
right?
and that's really what you have to get down to, what their major goals are. Listen, what's your bottom line on pricing? And then people think when I ask that question, it's like, that's what you're going to try and sell my house for. No, I just need to know what you owe, what you want to get out of it, and then we can have further that conversation. So it's like you said, the decoupling of things. We have to unwind this whole ball that it's in front of us. And I have to get to know somebody in a real short period of time and find out what their goals and objectives are just to sell the house and where they're going next. That's another key question. It's like, where are you going?
Yeah.
So,
Good stuff,
that's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot to unravel, man. It's that big twine ball that you just sits there and just got to keep unraveling it till we get to the center of it.
That's it. Peel back the layers.
Yep.
All right. So what's one fun thing that you do outside of real estate that surprisingly gives you an edge in this business?
All right. So I'm in a business where, like, we're in a couple of different businesses here where, like, real estate and the entertainment business, right? They're highly, highly criticized, and people look at it and go, it's not really a career, right? So outside of real estate, in my former life, I was a disc jockey, right? And I did a lot of events, a lot of club work, from back in the day in the Delco area. I worked in Philly, all over the place. That really is the creative side of things that gets me going. I'm now working with an event production company as well, right? So one of the things that does, it helps my creativity. It helps me stay invigorated, and it's my release from the stress of a real estate transaction. But here's where they're so similar. So in the real estate business, you get things that pop up last minute, whether it's appraisals, whether it's this, that, or the other thing, whether we're talking about, a new job change, somebody loses their job, makes a big purchase, right? So there's a lot of curveballs we're thrown in the real estate business that we have to react to. Well, in the entertainment business and the disc jockey, when you're disc jockeying, like, you got 4 minutes in between songs to make that analysis of what's going on the dance floor, what's happening with the crowd, right? You got to read the room, and you got to see, I'm going to change up the genres, and I'm going to see if this works. And if it doesn't work, you have to think on your feet. So you only have a couple minutes to do that. And that's the same with event production across the board. Anything that happens behind the scenes to put on the shows has to run smoothly. And you have to make split-second decisions when you're doing that in the entertainment business and in the real estate business. So you have to be able to analyze things, look things in, like, as they're sitting right in front of you, make a quick decision, and be confident that that decision is going to get you through. And that's really how these two businesses tie together. It's fun, obviously spinning records, quote unquote, spinning records. It's really all digital these days, but, so it's fun doing it, and it's entertaining. I mean, I've done it a couple internet radio shows recently, working with some of the bigger DJs in the Philadelphia area, which is really cool, and it's entertaining. But you got 3 to 5 minutes to the next song, 3 to 5 minutes to the next song. So you got to make those quick decisions, and you got to be able to help them. This is what helps in the conversation, Ken. It's like, it's so cool to be able to do that, and then just be able to just work right through it. And people are like, you're thinking on your feet. Yeah, you have to. And that's why it gets my juices flowing with this. And that's why, like, you're seeing me get worked up now, because I'm like, now I want to go like an event. It's like, it's the drug.
See that? I get you all worked up. Now it's time to get out there and do it.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, that's what I do. It's a fun side of me, man. And I love it. And listen,
awesome.
It's Dave Joslin, right? Initials are what?
DJ. Makes sense.
Right. Yeah. I was born.
I'm KJ. Can you help me out here?
I can do that. I think we're helping each other out right now, man.
Thank you for joining us, man. This was an awesome conversation. Way more than 5 minutes, but I think it was worth it. I hope everybody got something out of it, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, Ken.